What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Trying out a new change of scenery here in my more natural environment, my favorite environment, the woods. Wanted to go on a little hike here today and just wanted to do a little update. In case you haven't figured out, I've been trying to stick to a certain routine and schedule on my channel of doing one Bible study a week, a teaching a week, and I'm going to try to keep that same schedule. I might just keep it more one Bible study along with one teaching, and then end it with one podcast at the end of every week. So 3 videos a week is my goal. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I wanted to say thank you to every person that has been checking in on me and commenting and just supporting me through this whole thing. It's been fun. I've been enjoying it, honestly. I've been really enjoying just honestly doing what I feel the Lord has put in my heart to do, and that is to do some Bible study, preach the Word, and I'm very excited to do this podcast that I have coming up here soon. And with that being said, with the podcast, that was a big chunk of my day yesterday, along with 3 other different appointments that I had yesterday. Met with 2 different guys in the morning, had some good conversations with them about different things. I did a podcast, my first recording in our little studio after that, and then I ended my day with doing a prayer meeting, I guess you could call it, with 2 business leaders. And all were very fruitful, all were very enjoyable. But at the end of the day, there's like a recurring theme with all 4. There's a recurring theme. And I was like, Lord, show me what you're trying to tell me here out of the theme. I reflect back on all the conversations, and I always try to draw from I'm a big reflector. I think about stuff in the evening, different things that were said and stuff. And so the Lord reminded me, or He showed me this morning, the story about Mary and Martha in the book of Luke. It's Luke chapter 10, verse 38, I think, if memory serves me correctly. So like I said, I was like, give me what you want me to take from this recurring theme, and then also help me teach on it for myself and for other people. And so I don't have my Bible with me. I'm not going to pull up my phone and read the parable or the story, but I can summarize it pretty quickly because it's a pretty quick story. In Luke 10:38, it says Jesus and his disciples were traveling on their way back to Jerusalem, and they found a small little town that they were going to stay in, and Martha welcomed them into her house. And it says that she had a sister, Mary, and when they were inside the house, that Mary was found sitting at Jesus' feet, listening to every single word that he taught. And Martha was running around, making sure the food was ready, getting everything ready in the house. And so Martha comes in, says, Jesus, don't you think it's unfair that my sister's just sitting here while I run around and do all the work? And what does Jesus say? He says, and then Martha also said, tell her to help me get to work. And so what does Jesus say? He said, Martha, you've been distracted from all the details. You've been distracted and run around worrying about all the details. And he says, Mary has found something that is very good for her, and it's not going to be taken away from her. And so I read that this morning. Like I told you, I was thinking, I was like, Lord, what can I pull from this theme? And the theme that I had in all the conversations that I had was just, surrendering, details, trying to do everything on your own is basically like the theme, and maybe this only applies to guys. The story in the Bible is about 2 women, so it can't apply to women, but I find myself in that same situation sometimes. You're running around, you're worrying about all the details, you're trying to get things done. You're talking to a guy, you're listening to a guy that loves to get things done, of all people. And, the moral here, the lesson of the story is, look at what Mary was doing. Mary was sitting at Jesus' feet, listening to what he was teaching her. She was soaking up every word. And as I kind of had this recurring theme conversation all throughout the day, and you think about Mary, like I said, she's just sitting on every word that Jesus was saying. And instead of worrying about, that's what I was going to say, the last conversation that I had, the prayer meeting or conversation that I had with the business leaders, the one guy was just talking about how he has, what does it take to come to yourself? What does it take to come to the moment of surrender? Because I shared my testimony, a brief testimony, in the meeting. And man, I feel like I'm getting winded walking up this hill. It is a mountain, to be fair. So, but I told him, I said, look, this is where I surrendered. This is whenever I realized that I needed someone greater in my life. I needed something greater, someone greater to help me in what I was doing. And I just think it so much relates to Martha. Martha's running around worrying about all the details, trying to get things done on her own, when in reality, all you need to do is trust that the Lord will help you in all the details. I'm not saying that we can't, pay our bills and work hard and clean up our house and take care of our kids and do all these things. Yes, we're supposed to do all those things. We have to do all those things. But if you start your day presenting all the details to the Lord, then I have found in my life that God works all the details out, and He keeps everything in line. I mentioned Proverbs 3, verses 4, 5, and 6 all the time. Acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will direct your path. I think about my own life and how I just try to balance everything. I try to balance being a dad, being a husband, my job, chores around the house, taking care of the yard, taking care of the vehicles, getting everything ready, just taking care of everything like Martha was doing. But like I was sharing with my friend in the business meeting, you just have to come to that moment where you can't do it. You can't do it on your own. You can't worry about the details. You can't waste time worrying about the details. And if you spend time with the Lord, it says, I was teaching my boys a little bit about this morning. In Matthew chapter 6, I feel like I could read Matthew chapter 6 every day. But in Matthew chapter 6, Jesus talks a lot about worry, right? And He says, I think it's like verse 27, 28, about you can't add a single moment to your life by worrying. And so I hope all this correlates with you. I hope I was able to articulate to you the lesson that I got from all these conversations is to just quit worrying about the details. Quit trying to do everything on your own. Quit trying to get so much done so fast. That's another thing that I can work on. But quit trying to do it all on your own. You have to trust in the Lord. Lean not on your own understanding, but acknowledge Him in all your ways, right? So I hope that encourages you. It's a different style of teaching here today. Back in the woods on a beautiful trail I like to walk on, but hope that encourages you, and hope you think on that. Think on that scripture. Thank you to all the people that have been following, subscribe. I have a lot of exciting things coming up ahead. I'm trying to really get this podcast out there going. I think it'll be good. Steadfast Men Unscripted is the name of the podcast. I think it's going to be good. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out for it. And God bless all of you. We'll see you soon.